Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Masterminds. Good morning, slash noon, everyone. This is episode 65, and we are ESCAPETHEROOMers. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Cece, and today we are on a different schedule than our normal typical 4 p.m. To accommodate our very special guests.
Yeah!
The creators of Enigmas puzzle hunt playing cards. But before we get to the exciting intro, in a moment, we're going to do a raffle first for the 6-month subscription to Puzzlesnacks.
Yes.
By Eric Berlin. I feel like you know him too.
Yeah, very exciting. This is a very exciting prize, especially we're like halfway through the book.
Oh my goodness, yes.
we love Eric Berlin. Yep.
Who doesn't love Eric Berlin? All right.
So are we ready?
I think we're ready. Let me get the drum set. Here we go.
Okay, let's see.
Who's
Nate.
Who?
Nate Sellen.
Yay! Congratulations, Nate.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, we got people joining in from UK, US.
Hey.
All right.
UK is a great time right now too.
Yeah, I know. For them, they're wide awake right now. All right. Now back to our guest of the day, David Kwong. Please raise your hand. I know everyone knows you, but let's let them know who you are. He's down below. There you go. David Kwong graduated from Harvard University, where he studied the history of magic. He's a magician, puzzle creator, writer, and producer, and has created illusions for film and television, including Now You See Me, one of your favorites, yep, and then one of my favorites, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, and The Magnificent Seven. He is best known for his one-man show, The Enigmas, with 125 sold-out performances in New York. He was also a veteran cruciverbalist. Did I say that right? Did I get it right?
I don't know.
All right. For those who don't know, cruciverbalist is a crossword puzzle constructor or an expert, and routinely creates puzzles for the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, and Wall Street Journal. He's also a frequent TED Talk speaker and loves to demonstrate the principles of illusion and the science of why your brain is fooled. Yeah. To find out more about this, definitely check out his book Spellbound, which is 7 Principles of Illusion to Captivate Audiences and Unlock the Secrets of Success.
Like the longest book title I've ever.
Yeah. It must be. I think it's like really small font or to fit the title.
I got your attention now.
Presently, he's preparing for the reopening of the show, The Enigmas, which will be at the Geffen Playhouse in LA from September 14th to October 30th. Please welcome David Kwong. All right, next, we want to talk to the other guy over here. Over there. Who is also Dave. He's Dave Shukon. He is an intellectual property lawyer and a puzzle designer. As an attorney, he has represented some of the country's most well-known companies in copyright, trademark, and patent matters, but over the past decade has devoted much of his time to puzzle creation and consultation. Dave has co-written the famous MIT Mystery Hunt, the largest annual puzzle hunt 4 times, and has designed hundreds of other puzzles and games, including several for film and television, and for the recent Geffen Playhouse musical, The Door You Never Saw Before, a choosical musical. I love the title.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dave has collaborated with David Kwong on a number of projects, including as a puzzle designer for the off-Broadway run of The Enigmas. Oh. The Geffen Playhouse show Inside the Box, and the Enigmas playing card deck, and accompanying online puzzle hunts. A collection of Dave's puzzles can be found at davespuzzles.com. Hello, Dave. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
All right, you're both coming in loud and clear. We're going to get started.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you both on the show today. I'm going to have some questions directed to one person, and at times that you guys might be directed both. You can choose who you want to answer, or you can both, answer at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with David first. It's David and Dave.
Yeah.
So you have your own show, created illusions for other films, wrote a book, and now you've made like a puzzle hunt game. Like, what haven't you done? Okay, that's not the question.
That's not the question. That's leading into the important question.
The question is, or rather, I'm more interested in knowing that out of all these accomplishments, which would you say you're most passionate about?
Oh, well, when you make up a job like magician and puzzle maker and you smash those together, you got to do a bunch of varied things to convince the world that you have an actual career. So yeah, I've done. I try to apply that expertise to movies and TV shows, to theater. I write about the principles of illusion all the time. I design puzzles, just trying to. The fun and games take different forms. I think above all, I love to be on stage, and I'm so grateful that we are opening up again and doing it in person. And the Enigmatist, which Dave and I designed puzzles for, Dave's the real puzzle genius here. I'm just the guy on stage performing them. But that's the heart of what I do, is taking puzzles that you guys know so well from escape rooms and paper puzzles like Puzzlesnacks, and putting them in a performance mode. Mm-hmm. And what happens during these shows, like Inside the Box and the Enigmatist, is I say, stand up if you know the answer, or wave your hands in front of the screen if you know the answer. And that's really what I love doing, is like encouraging people to feel smart, and then blowing their minds and seeing their eyes pop and their jaws drop. And there's nothing like that. So we're getting back to in-person theater in LA, finally, September 14th. We're going to make this happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like what kind of beer that they're gonna have today. Came on, I was like, how is
pandemic
this going?
beard?
Oh, but yeah, this is laziness. But I've been growing this for about 20 years. Like, this is all I can do, really. Dave
got 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
For me.
It's like, no.
What about you? What is
6
this?
years, maybe.
Yeah. This is the Asian. I'm half Chinese. The Asian side of me. I can't.
Yeah. It's good because it allows us to be a little lazy, but then like at the same time, it's like I just want to change one day. Like one day, I just want to switch it up.
Right.
By the way, Karen Kate said that she loved Inside.
I saw that. Thank you so
great.
much. And I see a lot of other names that are familiar to me.
Yay.
Justin in New Jersey, what's up? Karen, thank you so much. Dave and I are so proud of Inside the Box. And what happened is that we were ready to do the Enigmatist in Los Angeles in May 2020. Of course, that didn't happen. We hit pause, and the Geffen Playhouse and I decided to pivot and go virtual. So they came to my home here. They built a set downstairs, and Dave and I created a show that took place entirely on Zoom, and it was and I got to tip my cap to Brett Benakis as well, the creative designer of it. The idea was, the aesthetic was to be about a zoo. What am I trying to say? I'm fumbling my words. The best compliment I got for Inside the Box, and hopefully you guys agree if you saw it, was that we never pretended that we weren't on a Zoom call.
Right.
So it's not like we were doing a dark noir mystery and trying to set the mood that way. We just said, look, we're all stuck in boxes in our homes on Zoom. Let's have fun with that. So the aesthetic was all about all 25 of us interacting across the lines of the Zoom boxes, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah, you basically
really cool.
took the situation you were in, and then you got creative with it, and that's great. We love that.
Yeah. So this might take hours to answer, but given that we only have an hour, what is an overview on how you think magic and illusion ties in with puzzles?
Oh, there's a great history of overlap. Going back to Martin Gardner, the great puzzle maker, mathematician, and magician, and then all the old magic books, they have puzzle sections. I think there's the mind of people that love magic and puzzles is it's someone who likes to figure things out. And I basically say that a good magic trick it's like a puzzle. I'm challenging the audience to figure out the solution. Hopefully you don't figure out what the solution is. And but I also I'm transparent with what I do. I don't pretend to have superpowers. I don't think Dave would work with me if I pretended to be like a mind reader. What I'm doing is I'm saying everything here is a puzzle. You can figure it out. It's all based on sleight of hand and misdirection, and have at it. See if you can figure it out. So
yeah, and guys, you probably wanna maybe sometimes look for David from time to time. He might be just like putting in something and
Yeah.
you just don't know what happened.
I feel like, this
Things
probably
might just
might be
pop
some
in.
hidden stuff along the way.
Oh, look at this. Lion Tree Media is in the chat. What's up?
Wow.
Hey, Burkhoff.
Hey.
Lion Tree. That's amazing. The wonderful supporters of the arts. Amazing. Great to see you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. So I mean, before reading your bio, like I didn't even know what that word means.
Cruciverbalist.
It's a profession.
It just rolls off the
So-
tongue now. Cruciverbalist.
Dave, break down Cruciverbalist for us.
Yeah, I mean it's the fancy term for crossword. So cruce from the cruci or cruce from the Latin for cross. So like the Southern Cross is called crux in the constellation. So crux, cruce, cross, and verbal, verb, word. So verbal thing is words. So cruci, verbal, cross, words. Ist, someone who does.
Totally
Wow,
makes sense.
yeah.
Now.
That was a thorough breakdown. You must be an intellectual property lawyer.
Oh, sometimes too much.
So do you actually have to take a class in order to learn about crossword puzzle making? Like somebody out there who's interested, is it hard to become a puzzle contributor of these large newspaper companies?
There's a lot of resources now, and especially during the pandemic, the submissions to the New York Times is off the chart. Everyone's sending them in. It's available to all of you to learn how to make a puzzle and send them into the newspapers, or there's a lot of outlets now online. We're in a golden age of independent crosswords and independent puzzling. But it's if you reach out to me, if you reach out to other people on social media, we can point you in the direction of how to learn. And then it's especially with print, with the newspapers, it's you learn by getting stuff rejected and what you have to change, and then you send in another one. So it took a while for me to get my first one in, but now I think I have it figured out. And a good crossword pushes the envelope and tries something new, and I attempt that all the time, and I get things rejected still, but I'm pushing the art form forward.
Oh,
Yeah, there are Facebook groups and email newsletters, email groups that you can be part of, and people will give you feedback. There's one group out there where people ask a lot of questions. I'm a new constructor. Is this okay? Is that okay? And people are very free with the ideas. A lot of people ask, how do I get started? And people will answer that. So there are absolutely plenty of resources online. And just get hooked up with someone who has good sensibilities and has more experience than you, and they'll mentor you. We're always very happy to bring other people in the fold and help them through the rough spots at the beginning, and then they'll go off and create great stuff.
nice.
Yeah, that's so great. It's very supportive.
Super supportive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love the
yeah.
community. So Dave, I have a similar question for you. Where does your true passion lie? I feel like this might be a simple question, but intellectual property lawyer or puzzle maker?
Well, my true passion, I have a passion for both, and like David was relating magic to puzzles, there is some overlap in certain ways. I was in college, I was a physics major and a theater minor. And so those are sort of both sides of my personality. People say, oh, very disparate. But to some degree, at least when you get into law, there's the science part of it, where you have to be very diligent. You have to think through things. You have to be able to explain things very clearly to people, to judges, to juries. And you have to break things down. You have to, a client comes to you with an issue, and you have to understand it and look at it from various different perspectives and say, okay, well, here's the important things, get rid of the unimportant things, here's what we want to focus on, here's what we want people to think about. And with theater and performance, when you're up in front of a judge, when you're in front of a jury, when you're talking to clients, when you're talking to the other side, you are performative virtually all the time. When you're in your office writing stuff, which is about 90% of what I do, you don't have to be performative. But whenever you are interfacing with anyone, you have to, the phrase that I always highlight is know your audience. And so something that will work for this judge might not work for this judge, or something that the way you would say it to your client is different from how you would say it to the opposition, is different from how you would say it to the jury. So you want to know your audience, and kind of put both of those together for puzzles as well. So you want to know your audience with puzzles. If you are giving a puzzle to a bunch of fourth graders, that's going to be a very different puzzle than the puzzles that we're writing for the Mystery Hunt, which are going to the best puzzlers in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a narrow focus, which is much easier to write puzzles for, because you kind of know, okay, the low end and the high end are kind of pretty close and I can get in that sweet spot. Sometimes you're writing puzzles for the world at large, and you've got some of the best puzzlers working on them and some beginners working on them, and you have to find a way to do something that is both going to be accessible to beginners but still fun for the most experienced people, and that can be quite a trick, and there are various ways of doing that.
Right.
So that's sort of the long way of answering the simple question, is that my passions, heart of hearts, puzzles are great. I really enjoy doing puzzles, but doing the law is, in essence, solving puzzles. Things come in, you have to figure out what the right solution for this problem that you're given is, and then put it out there and explain it. So my job is mostly explaining the puzzle that's come into me. And three things, if you look at things that kind of way, you can see a good bit of overlap.
Right. I think Cease's answer is he's torn between.
Look, I wouldn't want to give up the law. I wouldn't want to give up puzzles,
right.
And thankfully, I don't have to.
Great.
It's the law is while it is it takes a lot of time and a lot out of you. It's not where I have to be somewhere at 8 o'clock till 6 o'clock every day. I have to write this 50-page piece over the next 3 weeks. But if I do it, at this time or at this time or at this time, that's fine. So I didn't have to be somewhere today, right now, which is why I can be here. So there's a lot of flexibility in the timing, which allows me to do all of the puzzle stuff that David and I do.
Nice. And I feel like for David wise, it's great to have David as a friend, because now he's like, I can tell you what to say and what you can't say. And this is like, you're going to be guaranteed not to be sued, because this is the U.S. Everything gets sued.
Yeah.
we both have our strengths, and we help each other out in various ways when something is more in the wheelhouse of the other person.
Yeah, just for the record, after playing the game last night, I wouldn't have minded the fourth grader puzzles.
Yeah, look at the deliveries, Ren.
Yeah, I was like,
I totally undermine the little deck of cards. Like how I was like, oh my god, guys, we're done. Like,
we packed a lot in there.
That's the key that opens everything up.
Yeah, we packed a lot in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that key was like, ooh, it was such an accomplishment. It's like, oh,
yeah.
we just walked into the room.
Yeah. Anyway, so that leads to my next question. Knowing that you've designed MIT's Mystery Hunt, I definitely don't feel so bad about using all the hits that we could on this game last night. Here's where we, like I said, made a mistake of not fully preparing ourselves with playtime, because I thought it was just 4 mini puzzles, and I was super feeling accomplished. I was like, guys, this is like the fastest game we've ever completed in a short time. Until we were like, okay, that was just an intro. Here's the real website and where the real game begins. So tell us the inspiration behind this idea of this puzzle hunt.
Well, Dave, maybe I'll start by talking about the theme of the deck, and then we can get into the puzzles, because Dave's the designer of those. So these cards, these are themed on a place called Riverbank, which is the setting for the show The Enigmatist, and it's such a fun story, and it's about this fantastical, crazy, like Hearst Castle-like estate in Geneva, Illinois, called Riverbank, that was created by this textile tycoon named George Fabian, and he had alligators running around, and bears, and what else did we put on the box? Peacocks, wolves. He had this incredible collection. He had this Japanese garden. It's still there in Geneva, Illinois. But this insane place, some people call the cradle of cryptography. It is the place that code breaking in the U.S. was born. And it's because of this couple, Elizabeth and William Friedman, who were employed by George Fabian to find secret codes that were hidden in Shakespeare. So you know how there's like, people are always looking for Bible code, like in certain books of the Bible, if you circle this letter and that, you might find a secret message.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with this idea that hidden in Shakespeare was a code created by Sir Francis Bacon. So that's what this couple was looking for, and they became experts in code breaking. And the government took notice, and they basically started the code breaking efforts for the US. They went on to be founding members of the NSA. I mean, it's an incredible story, and it all takes place here. So that was the inspiration for hiding codes on this deck of playing cards. We wanted to give people that acquire the deck puzzles right up front. So there are 4 puzzles, but they certainly lead to something bigger, which is Dave's brainchild. Do you want to take it away and tell us about that, Dave?
Sure. And the idea was that this deck was going to be a bit of a part of David's show, The Enigmas, which is also about Riverbank. And so originally the deck was, okay, here's a deck of cards that can be sold at shows, and then that David can have as this very nice artifact to give to people and have them have an experience beyond just the live experience. And then COVID happened, and it was tougher to do live shows. Mm-hmm. And so we still wanted to do the cards. We were still in the process of developing the cards, but we saw an opportunity to make something more with them. Mm-hmm. So we took the cards that were going to be more or less just a card deck with puzzles in it, and the puzzles all have a bit of a relationship and a bit of a small meta puzzle, a small final answer that you get to once you solve the internal puzzles. But we saw the opportunity to say, well, this is really a one-of-a-kind opportunity to take a bunch of time to put together something that is really special beyond just the deck. So you have the deck, and sort of, like a show in itself. So like the deck would go with the show. Here now the deck opens you up to this further world, which we call the menagerie, which is further based on the Fabian estate. And when you solve the puzzle on the puzzles and the cards, that allows you into this online world where there is a full-fledged puzzle hunt. And the full-fledged puzzle hunt is as substantial as any, we call them mini hunts, because you sort of, I realize, a hunt that might take 10 to 15 hours, calling it a mini hunt is in the eye of the beholder.
15. So generous.
But there are puzzle hunts online where it's like 3 or 4 of these put together. And the mystery hunt is like 10 to 15 of these put together back to back. Yeah. So this is a mini hunt because there's really a number of puzzles and then one meta puzzle that binds all of the answers together at the end. And that's generally the difference between a mini hunt and a full-fledged hunt. Mini hunt is basically one round. You do some puzzles, you get one answer, and a fuller-fledged hunt is you have this round, and then this round, and then this round, and then you put all those answers together. Yeah. And the Fabian estate led very naturally to this idea of having locations around the estate, and each puzzle being a location. And because animals are a very big part of the estate, I themed it around a menagerie, kind of gave it a zoo feeling to it. And this was an idea that I had percolating for a while. I had pitched the general overall concept apart from Fabian in connection with another puzzle hunt I was involved in. We ended up going with a different way with that puzzle hunt, but this was always in my ever-growing list of ideas, which is now about 20 pages long. Okay, someday do a puzzle hunt that's this and this and this, a standalone type puzzle hunt. And because of my day job and the various other things I do, it has always been very difficult for me to figure out a time to just do a hunt on its own for no reason other than to bring joy to people. But this was a great way to do it. This was, how do we elevate the cards? Let's attach a puzzle hunt. Okay, to do that, I'm going to break out the menagerie idea that I had. I'm going to craft it around the Fabian estate, and we're going to make a puzzle hunt that's of a piece with the cards, and that together can complete the cards and can work side by side with the Enigmatist, the show, to really bring the experience beyond just the stage.
Right. So just to break it down for everybody. So Dave, do you have the 4 puzzles from the in front of you?
I
actually took them out, but I can open a new deck.
No, I've got them right here. I will have them in a moment.
So within the deck are 4 puzzles. These are they're a little bit of a challenge, but they're not too hard, and you can always find us online if you need help with them. This is what you guys were trying last night. Is that right, Cece? And that will lead you to an answer. But if you want to go deeper, you will unlock this larger menagerie world that Dave created.
Yeah,
so
it's real large too.
Real deep.
Yeah, it's very large.
There's something for everyone, and I think that's what we try to do. Is we often, talk about know your audience, right? We often try to appeal to different audiences at the same time, and have a couple of tracks running. So we'll have accessible puzzles, and then for the experts, you can go deeper. But even keep in mind, if you go deeper and you unlock the menagerie, there are hints along the way to get you through that. Everybody can finish that menagerie.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that's a good point. That's one of the things we wanted to make sure. And I'm opening up a deck. So
I could have done that. I just didn't.
That's fine. But we did add this hint system online so that even though the puzzles are rather difficult, with the hints, each puzzle has about 10 hints, and they're given in sequential form, and you just click on a link. So you click on the top link, the next link, the next link. And so if you've gotten through the first 3 phases of the puzzle, but you're stuck on the 4th, you click on the first, done that. Oh, this is the thing I need. And it just gives you little nudges until you get what you need to solve things.
Yeah.
So while it can look intimidating first if you had no lifelines at all, and you don't have a wealth of experience in doing puzzles, the hints take you from step 0 all the way to step 10, and then indeed step 11 is, here's the answer to the puzzle. If you just don't have it, here's the answer. So you cannot possibly get irretrievably stuck. If you just wanted to, you just click on all the answers to the puzzles, you get all the answers, and then you can do the end game.
I think when we first were able to solve one of them on our own, it was like a victory lap. We were like, "Oh, we got one on our own!"
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's the way it's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here are the 2 puzzle cards. That was the front. That was the back of one card, and this is the front, and this is the back of another card. And there are 4 rather different puzzle types. There's a grid. There's a word seek kind of puzzle. There's a gridded puzzle. There's a rebus, and there's a hidden words puzzle. So those are 4 very different types of puzzles, but they're all related in some way that you will find out once you solve things. And once you solve things, you are led to the gate online. You massage the answers that you're given and put that into the gate. Some shenanigans happen, but you will eventually get through the gate into the world of the menagerie.
And it looks like that's a red deck, and we have the blue one. How many color variations do you have?
Red and blue.
Just the red and the blue. Oh, wow,
Yes.
They look really amazing. Yeah.
Yes, the blue was always the original design. We kickstarted this, and one of the stretch goals was to do a red deck. It's always nice to have 2 different colored decks, because when you play card games, especially if you play poker, it's always nice to be able to deal one deck while you're shuffling the other deck, but you don't want to use 2 blue decks and get the cards mixed up. So it's always nice to have a red and a blue deck, and it's just the red deck is very striking. And that was a limited edition. There are maybe a few red decks left over, but mostly they're not going to be printed again. And
Always good to have limited editions.
Yeah.
Yep. So hopefully people who wanted them got them. Otherwise, they're going to be gone very soon.
Yeah. All right. But I think this is such a great idea to come out during the pandemic as well. For $18, it's a great value to have, around, for us, 30 to 40 hours of playtime. You were saying 10 to 15. I was like,
and a deck of cards. In a deck of cards, you will have infinite playtime.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, people need a deck of cards in the house regardless. And
Yeah.
now there's an additional added bonus to it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're watching the show right now, it's probably a better deal for you, because if you type in the phrase "I'm all in" for a puzzle hunt,
There you
you'll
go.
be entered into a raffle to win a free deck of Enigmas Puzzle Hunt playing cards.
Yeah.
All right.
Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of fun.
Yeah, unlimited. So that is something that what.
We're all in to give you some hints. So just find us and reach out.
Yes, in general, David and I are very available. We're not some ivory tower thing. We answer our emails all the time. People are asking us for additional hints for the cards or for the online things all the time, and that's perfectly fine. David has his website. It's davidkwongmagic, right? .com, where there are a couple of puzzles and a couple of additional things on there. I've got my website, davespuzzles.com, where all of my mystery hunt puzzles and about 80% of the puzzles that I've written are on there. And people stumble over that every now and then, find puzzles, and they either say, oh, great, I'm glad I found this, or I'm completely stuck on this, can you give me hints? And I will always respond as soon as I can. So
Yeah.
no end of puzzle stuff.
And we'll drop your cell phone numbers down below, so this way they can call you directly.
Great.
Yeah. and home address, hopefully. Just knock on our door anytime.
Oh man.
Something came in, or let me see if wait, yes, it came back again. We have the source is coming from a Don't Eat Puzzles, but there's a video package assigned to it addressed to the guys at Enigma's Puzzle Hunt playing cards.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get that over to you so we can take a look.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's play it.
What is?
Hi, Enigma's playing cards. I've got a cryptic forward for you. What three numbers, none of which is 0, give the same result whether they're added or multiplied together? There we go.
Yes, I got this.
Dave, this is in Dave's wheelhouse.
This is definitely a Dave thing.
I was like, do we need to play it back? We don't need to play it back for you guys.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Have at it, buddy. I mean,
what is your thoughts?
Sure, and there's actually more than just one answer. There's one answer over the integers, but if you go to fractions, which was not precluded by the question, he just said numbers, you can get infinite solutions. But the solution that he's looking for is 1, 2, 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 1 times 2 times 3 is 6.
Oh.
That's it, sir. Thank you so much. You didn't even give the audience a chance. No, I'm just kidding. There are your lifeline.
Pause this tape.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit scared about our Think or Trick segment later now.
Well, I'm scared what they're going to leave for our next guest.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, one more time. The secret phrase is, I'm all in for a puzzle hunt. So type that down below. You'll automatically be entered into the raffle for the puzzle hunt playing cards.
Yeah.
And then also, I think we're good to go.
Yeah. So Dave and Dave, how did you guys meet each other? Like, what was the first collaborative project that you worked on together?
I think we met at a LA puzzle meetup of some, or escape room. Was it escape room?
We first met at an escape room, but we didn't really form a friendship. We formed an acquaintance, but not a.
Why? Because somebody's a hogger?
Were you playing together or separately?
Yes, but neither of us. It was someone else in the group. It was the I believe it was the basement. There was a group of about.
Who held on to who in the room?
There was, and we escaped with. under 30 seconds left. It was very, very exciting.
Amazing.
But then we're both members of a puzzle group, the National Puzzlers League, which the LA chapter has group meetings every couple of months. And we saw each other again there a couple times. And then at one point, David needed help on something, and I might have been the second or third.
I don't remember. We've done so many things now. I don't remember, but
I don't remember. I don't remember the first thing that it was. I was always eager. I was starting to do a little bit of freelance puzzle stuff at that time. So at that time, I was 97% law and 3% puzzles. Right. But always looking for a way to bring the puzzle percentage up. And so when David asked for help on something, I was happy to do it, and didn't know if anything would come of it, but I knew David was a popular and well-known guy, and I was thinking, well, if I can become a kind of a go-to puzzle guy, maybe I can get that percentage from 3% to 5% to 7%, and now it's up around 40% of what I do. So.
And then one of the things that I'm proud of that we collaborated on was the show Blind Spot that was on NBC. And for those of you that know that show or check it out, it's with Jamie Alexander, who wakes up with her mind erased in the middle of Times Square, and she's covered with tattoos, which are like a treasure map. And Dave and I worked on what those puzzles were and what they led to, episode to episode. That went 5 seasons. So that was great. And then we had Deception, which was a TV show about a magician who becomes an FBI agent. But RIP to that show. It only lasted a season, but we were proud of it. Worked on that too.
And the stuff for season 2 and season 3 was so good for that.
Oh yeah. But we got a lot of stuff coming up. Greg Berlanti, who produced both those shows, is like the mayor of television, and there's always stuff. And with Martin Garrow, who created Blind Spot. And we worked on something for Lord and Miller. That'll be on Apple Plus, Apple TV, whatever you call it. That's got puzzles hidden throughout. You guys are going to go bananas for it. Check in with us. We'll tell you more about it when we get closer.
Did you say Lord and Miller?
Yep. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who created like the Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, Last Man on Earth. They're so prolific.
Yeah,
we can't release the name yet.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, and we worked a lot with Chris Miller, who's really knows his puzzle stuff. And we would work with him with ideas. We would give him ideas, and he, we didn't have to do much explaining. He would say, "Oh, this will work here. This will work here. What if we tweak this to do this?" And so the show really has puzzles weaved into it in a way.
I think we could say what it is, but we won't tell you the exact content. But right now it's called The After Party. It'll be on Apple, and there's a lot going on in there.
Oh, I love we're all constantly looking for shows.
Yeah, we watch a lot of stuff. Like we'll watch a couple of episodes, see if it takes. Blind Spot was one of my favorite shows. I love that show.
Currently, we're up to our guilty pleasures and stuff.
We're not going to talk about the reality shows we're obsessed with, which we shouldn't be obsessed with.
Well, because we're running out of puzzle shows to watch. So we're like, what do we watch now?
Okay, so there is a show I'm just going to quickly plug called Are You the One? I know it's old. It was on MTV, and it's about perfect matches. But there is a deduction aspect to it, which all the people on the show, I don't understand why they're not taking notes.
We're going to take 5 minutes.
Okay? No, we're not going to take 5 minutes. Okay. But they're connecting with each other. They're hooking up.
Wow.
They're finding love. Wow. But there's $1 million on the line. There's no notepads out. No one's taking notes. What happened? I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're like, if we're puzzle people, we would have got this.
I would have done it the second time we had a chance to guess.
Deduction. Oh, no, that didn't happen. Yeah.
Sorry, we went off track, but we watch a lot of stuff.
There's puzzles and everything. I similarly, like an analogy in sports, like, I watch a lot of baseball, and every once in a while you get a pitcher who's like in the dugout writing down things, and it's like, this guy doesn't like curveballs. I'm going to throw him a curveball next time. Everybody should do that. Like, take notes. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Seriously.
Unless you have, what do you call that?
Eidetic memory, photographic memory.
Yeah. So I'm sure coming from different backgrounds, you guys must have like different visions on like puzzle types, the styles, the difficulty levels, the targeted audience. What was your vision for the Puzzle Hunt playing cards? Like, what is your targeted audience for this one?
I think it's engagement is the ultimate goal, right? And again, it's know your audience. So I think the idea was to have a couple of tracks, an accessible one, and then one that requires a little bit of more time, but nevertheless still accessible because you can get through it with ample hints. Yeah. But again, I hope none of this scares you guys. Those 4 puzzles that are in the deck, you can totally do. You can get through them. They lead to a little mini meta answer. We're around for hints for those. But then there's another track you can go deeper and unlock the menagerie hunt. And I think that we bring that to my live performances, which is there's something going on right there that I'm tasking everybody to figure out on the spot. But then there's also something else hidden going on at the same time. Two or more tracks. I think that's hopefully what we do well, and what I try to how I think gets the most engagement out of an audience or solvers.
Sure, and I really do want to emphasize the idea behind the hint system, which we took a lot of time to put together and present alongside the menagerie. So, for instance, you can take a puzzle and make it sequentially easier. I could have this puzzle. A lot of these types of puzzles have no instructions. You're supposed to figure out what to do. That's the MIT Mystery Hunt is famous for that. Most of the puzzles won't have any instructions. It'll be just here are 20 pictures. You need to come up with an overall answer to the puzzle. We're not going to tell you what to do. So one way of making it easier is to give instructions. So hint 1 can just be, the instructions. So if we give the puzzle without any hints and direct it toward the very experienced solvers, we can expect them to figure out, oh, I see what to do because this answer is this and this answer is this, and those 2 words are related in some way, so I'm going to look for the same relations with other things. Great. But for other people, we can say, identify all the images and then look for words, starting with and ending with the same letter or whatever. And so that gives them that in. And then if there's a part 2 and a part 3 to things, we can say, okay, so here, for example, this is a tiger and this is a something else, and those words relate this way to give you this letter. Now we've given them an example in hint number 2 that takes them a little bit further. Mm-hmm. In hint number 3, we can say, a couple of the things are a little tough to get. We would expect experienced solvers to, maybe know that this is a kawati or or this is an addle. But other people might not know those words because they won't have been around crosswords and whatever. So on the tougher things, we can say, hint number 3 can be some of the tougher things to identify is that's image 3 is a kawati and image 4 is an addle. And so that's a little bit, yeah. Exactly,
I actually thought it started
so if you have a kawati and if you have a coat, a picture of a kawati and a picture of a coat, you can sort of see how those things might go together.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we take all the hints, and then the final hint of all of them is the answer to this puzzle is X. And so even if you get through all the hints and still don't know what to do, if this puzzle just wasn't your speed, we give you the answer to the puzzle, and then you can put that together with the other answers you solve. So you'll never get stuck. And so that really helps us hit all the possible experience levels of puzzlers, which was very important.
Yeah, I mean, the hint system definitely works. It definitely gave us a nudge, got us to move forward slowly, but it got us to move forward.
One step at a time.
Yeah, because
it was like baby walks.
Yeah, because the biggest hurdle is being presented with it is like, what do I do? What is this?
Yeah, familiarity. Yeah, familiarity with it.
Yeah, so I mean, talking about hint systems, I love to hear about the funny or interesting stories that you guys have that happened during like the creation period, or like a customer service experience that you had with people. Do people like email you and bribe you about the solution to the last question? Because that Hall of Fame is looking a little short. He's like, I'm not going to give you the answer to that one.
Well, that Hall of Fame is filled out with some very clever people.
Yeah. For sure. So, like, do they? I mean, like, do you give hints on that meta puzzle, like final, like solution if people needed it?
Yeah.
No, we'll give hints on anything. I mean, the hint system online pretty much takes you up to the very, 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 very final step. And look, if somebody did all the hints and said, I still can't do it for some reason, it's hard to envision that happening. We'll give people there. We want people to have that sense of accomplishment. But we also know that, if you put the cookie jar on the bottom shelf, more people will take cookies than if you put it on the third shelf and they have to work for it. So we wanted people to have to work a little bit to get to the hints and feel like, okay, click through this, or if it doesn't give you what you have, write us an email. We don't just want to completely spill the beans on everything, but we want everyone who wants to get to the end to get to the end.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome to know. We do have a question.
Yeah, Lion Tree Media wants to know. First of all, they have a long way to go. Where can I learn more about the types and genres of puzzles? You guys have any suggestions?
Sure.
Well, Puzzlesnacks is a great way to start. Eric Berlin's stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Eric Berlin's a good friend of ours. He's the captain of my mystery hunt team. So I'm kind of online with Eric every day talking about. We're writing the 2022 mystery hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In that process.
Yeah, we heard he's under the pressure. He's coming up with puzzle. He's puzzling every day,
Things
trying to figure out what
soon.
We are doing. We're doing a lot of work. One of the best books. I guess this is a plug. It wasn't an intentional plug, but there's a book called by Mike Selinker and Thomas Snyder, two biggies in the puzzle world, called Puzzlecraft: How to Make Every Kind of Puzzle. Mm-hmm. And it is they wrote a series of columns for Games Magazine that was done on a monthly basis. And Thomas Snyder is very big in the logic puzzle world, Sudoku and those types of puzzles. And so they would say, okay, so if you want to make a crossword puzzle, here's a 2-page spread on how to make a crossword puzzle. If you want to make a Sudoku, here's a 2-page puzzle on a 2-page spread on how to make a Sudoku. And they put those columns together with a bunch of new content to come up with the book Puzzlecraft, which came out 5, 6, 7 years ago. And it is just really a cornucopia of, you go through and there are maybe 50 different puzzle types with pointers about what these puzzle types are and about how to write them and pitfalls and whatever when writing them. I think that's perhaps the best overall resource that I know to get quickly into a bunch of different types of things. Now, obviously, the idea of how do I write a Sudoku would normally take up more than 2 pages. You could probably fill a book on that. So this is a get your feet wet on lots of different types of things. And if you want to dive deeper into any of them, there are plenty of resources online that you can go to. But that's a great overview to see a lot of different puzzle types and how they work.
Great.
And then for solving, what do you think, Dave?
For solving?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and the major cities have NPL mini-con meetups, right?
Sure.
National Puzzlers League.
Right. For solving, one great resource is a number of things. So a friend of ours named Foggy Broom puts out a puzzle magazine called Panda every 2 months. And that is probably 30 pages of various puzzles, and then a mini puzzle hunt. The mini puzzle hunt is maybe a third to a half as difficult and as involved as the Menagerie Puzzle Hunt, but it's like 10 puzzles. Those puzzles are more of the 15 to 30-minute puzzles. And you solve those 10 puzzles, you get an answer, and the answer is kind of always a pun to the question that's asked up front. So that's kind of typical on the puzzle board.
When David asked about the solving, I thought he meant like a cheating website.
Is that what you were talking about?
Where would I plug in this question? I was so excited. I was like, what? There's a website for
whatever
solving?
you gotta do. Whatever you gotta do to get through.
And that's when you align yourself with a solving partner.
Yeah.
It's much more fun to solve these in pairs or in groups than solo. And I'm sure David has as well, test solve a bunch of puzzles all the time. And to some degree, it can be a bit of a lonely experience wrestling with your own mind on things. I get this puzzle, the easy puzzles, no problem. I go through, I get some things out, typo here, change this clue there, whatever. The hard puzzles, you're really sitting there going, I want to talk this through with someone. I want to say something and have somebody say, that's a good idea, that's a bad idea, how about this? When you're left sort of to your own devices with a difficult puzzle, and you don't have a hint system like we have for Menagerie or other things, it can be, why can't I move forward on these types of things? So highly recommended, solve with a partner, solve with 2 or 3 people. If nothing else, if I'm faced with something where I can't get over a particular wall, I'm going, is it just me or is this really hard? If I have 3 other people in the room that are also stuck, then I can kind of go, oh, it's the puzzle, it's not me.
Yeah.
Right? If it's just me, it's like maybe everybody else in the world is solving this and I don't know why I'm not. So that's probably the biggest advice.
We asked ourselves that last night.
Is it me?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So we're hoping to see like a bit of illusion and magic, elements in this game, since I thought like it was Dave's like specialty in terms of, but I feel like it's like a little more towards the puzzles a bit more.
Puzzle hunt side,
so I'm thinking like, are you guys gonna have a part 2 series to this card at some point, a sequel perhaps?
Well, I'll give a shout out to our collaborator Chris Chelko, who is a producer of playing cards, and Billy French, who designed these cards, and this team that we have here. We're definitely going to be making more cards. Dave's got some ideas for decks of cards that I don't want to say too much. Take puzzles to a new level of hiding puzzles in a deck, and then I'm more inclined, as you suspected, to do another kind of magic series. So you might see playing cards themed on Houdini or Thurston or Keller, but rest assured, whatever we make, there's going to be a secret code puzzle component to that for sure.
Nice.
I'll say just a bit more on the puzzle deck idea. The Enigmas deck, which, as I said, kind of started out as a companion to the Enigmatist, was always going to be more or less a straightforward deck of cards with some things hidden in it. The next step to do on a puzzle deck, as opposed to a deck of magic cards or other things, which are great things. There are a bunch of card deck collectors and magician deck and those types of things sound great. But the next step in a puzzle deck would be to have a deck of cards that doesn't actually really work as a deck of cards. You can't really play cards with it because every face has something in it, and every back is different. So the backs combine in different and interesting ways. That is a substantial project because an artist
52 puzzles.
Well,
4 more.
Yeah, I mean, and all interrelated. A designer can design one puzzle back for this deck, for the Enigmas deck, and that is designed. To do a deck where everything interrelates, you might have to combine the fronts in ways, the back in ways, maybe combine the fronts of some with the backs in others, and all in a very logical way that takes you through step by step. Really, it's designing 52 different backs and 52 different fronts. And that is a much, much bigger task that was never going to happen, nor was it intended to happen with the Enigmas deck. That's a time frame that's significantly longer and significantly requires significantly more from the artist, which was not, what within the scope of what we were doing with the Enigmas deck.
Nice. Well, it's good to hear that there's something more coming out in terms of expansion.
Yeah,
so
that might have been my project this year if we hadn't won the mystery hunt, and now my year has been
did
involved.
you expect not to win it? Like, I don't
Hey,
because he want to lose. I don't.
we'd come in second or third, I think, each of the past 5 years or so. So we were always knocking on the door, but there are very good teams out there.
Yeah,
It's very competitive.
And just to clarify, when you win the MIT Mystery Hunt, your team designs it for the next year.
one.
Yep.
Crazy.
So a lot of people
Didn't really feel like you did feel a win, but you're also gaining your work. Yay.
A lot of people say second place is the real winner. And, there were a lot of good writers on our team who really hadn't written something at this level for a while, and it really was time for us to punch through and get this so we can all put our creative juices together. And now we don't have to win for another 5 or 10 years or so.
Right.
This is enough.
So before we move on to our next segment, David, did you want to do a little bit of something for us, for our audience?
Do you have anything? Do you have any tricks up your sleeve?
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Well, magic is tough over camera, but I'll show you some.
I'll give him the stage.
Sleight of hand really quick. Let's see. Cece, can you just say stop anytime you like?
Okay. Stop.
All right, now it's okay if I see this. This is a different type of trick. King of Spades, I'm going to write your name on it. CICI, right?
Yeah.
And then can you tell me what is your favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex.
T-Rex. All right, very good. So now we have we know that this is your card. It says CC, it says T-Rex here. Just want to be clear about that.
Looking good.
And I'll show you a little bit of card control using the Enigmas playing cards and your King of Spades. Here's the King of Spades. You can see if I place it into about the middle of the pack and push it in, like that, a little snap of my fingers, I should be able to get your card to come back up to the top. You see? Let's try it again. I'll make it a little more difficult. I'll mix up the cards, overhand shuffle. These are called swivel cuts, like this. And if I've done this correctly, CC, your card should be right on the top of the Enigmas deck. There's that King of Spades one more time. Let's do it. Watch carefully into the middle of the pack. It goes. You can see it's about halfway down. It goes just like that, and your card comes right back up to the top. Oh, that's the joke. Oh, you know what? I didn't snap my fingers. You have to snap your fingers or it doesn't work. That's how you get your card. Oh, listen to that thundering applause. That's
wow.
Let's try one more time here. One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Now you know magicians use their sleeves, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I like to use the outside of my sleeve though. So if I were to take a card like the Ace of Hearts and use my sleeve to find it, watch here on the sleeve. I can take that Ace of Hearts. If I rub it on the sleeve, it just changes to Cece's card. You see that?
Wow.
All right. If you pick up, thank you. If you pick up a pack of Enigmas, you will be able to do those tricks too.
That's all you need.
After 20 years of practice.
We just need to buy the pack, and we can do that for our friends and family.
Did you hear the disclaimer though? After 20 years of practice.
Oh, after 20. Okay,
Yeah, there was
it's
a
not fine.
David, can you give us a card spin? Can you give us a card spin and flick?
I'll try. Yeah, let's see if I can do this here. Yeah, this is
it's turning into another show.
Yeah, the Enigmatus, the short version.
Let me see here. All right. This is a one-handed swivel cut. Here we go. This is the top pivoting to the bottom. This is how you cut the cards with one hand. You see that?
Wow.
And if I've done this correctly, I should be able to get one card right out of the middle like that. And that is your card.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Morning magic. It's morning here in Los Angeles. I just had my coffee. Oh, can we talk about what we're drinking?
We're going to get to there right now, but I do want to thank you for doing that. That was amazing.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah.
People who are watching, I'm sure they're clapping in their, in their seats.
Yeah, I love on Zoom. Isn't that kind of weird? Like when you're performing and they're doing the silent clap, and you're like, "Thank you." Thank
Clap
you.
emojis.
I do hear you, but
No, I can't wait to get back to live theater. There's nothing like it.
yeah, nice. All right, well,
I think we're ready for our next segment, which is called
Eat or drink.
Take a Drink. All right, so what are we focusing on today for Think a Drink?
Okay, so I'm going to let you guys off a little bit easy on the drinking side because it is like 9 something over there, right? Like a little bit early in
5 o'clock
the
somewhere.
Oh, 5. Yeah. So the drinking part could be left a little easy, but the thinking part is not.
Yes.
going to be
So
that easy.
let's start with David. What are you drinking in front of you, sir?
I'm drinking coffee. It's,
Okay.
10
Oh,
a.m.
I
here
love
in
that
Los
mug.
Angeles. This is my handy Scrabble mug. Do you know what the K stands for?
Is it Kwong?
It stands for potassium. Potassium.
Wow.
I use that joke every day of my life.
Is that homemade coffee, or do you like what kind of coffee?
I grind some beans over there in the old kitchen.
Nice.
And
I
David
also brought this is my Wise Guy mug, and Dave and I used this in Inside the Box to have when things came together at the end, literally, and this became the letter E. These 3 bars are part of the letter E as things came together on the screen. And this is my new. Someone just gave this to me for my birthday.
Someone has a
He's
mug
a mug
collection.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Someone just gave this to me. It's so fitting because I'm like an 80-year-old man. It says "World's Greatest Grandpa." So I'm very happy to have this mug.
Wow.
They left the price on it too. It cost $1. $1. Thank you.
Love the dollar store, right?
Yeah, that's a really great find for $1.
He's like, I still left the price tag. What does it mean?
Yeah.
He never washes the mug? It's never coming up.
Dave, what are you drinking, sir? I think you're also drinking coffee as well, right?
Yeah, coffee. And can you tell what this letter stands for?
Is that like a UV light cup we need to shine a black light or something?
Yes. This is
The point time is whatever letter you want it to be.
Exactly.
Activated by heat.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, my hands are just too cold this morning. No, just coffee, but strong coffee.
Homebrewed coffee as well?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Today we're coughing out. What do you
Yeah.
have?
All right. So I'm drinking a coffee that I've had in the past. It's by Kaitu. It's super coffee. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this before.
Yeah.
But this is the coconut mocha flavor. So I'm eager to try this. So you guys get all the answers right if you can, because she was a little brutal with the
Wait,
questions.
The coffee flavor is coconut mocha?
Coconut mocha.
They didn't call it mocha nut?
They wanted to be
come
very
on.
specific.
Come
You are now
on.
on their PR team.
Yeah.
It's happened.
All right. So the way that we play Think and Drink is we ask you a question. You
Yeah.
have 10 seconds from after we ask
Well, let me
you
tell them
to
what
answer.
these questions are first.
Oh, sure.
You're going to, since you guys are gurus at crosswords,
Mhm.
and you love cryptic crosswords,
Oh.
these are going to be the cryptic crosswords.
Well, not all of
Yeah,
them.
okay.
But
Yeah.
we,
And the
Do it
audience,
again.
feel free to like chime in. when
oh
you
yeah, audience,
can.
definitely chime in because I think some of these are a little bit of head scratchers, but maybe it's just for us. Guys might get it right away.
Yeah.
But here we go. Question number 1 is, this is an easy one. I'm warming you guys up. Johnny's mother had 3 children. The first child was named April. The second child was named May. What was the third child's name?
Yeah.
Wait, did we get this on the
No
no text?
Shout it out or what? We got
You can
it.
stop me anytime.
Oh, it's Johnny.
Yeah, all
You didn't
right.
even let you finish your question.
I know, he's like,
That was
yup,
lazy.
yup.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking for that on the screen. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Should we just jump in, or should we'll wait for we'll say it right at the end of the countdown?
Okay, yeah.
Sure. Or we don't
Okay.
even need a countdown for this game. Looking like it looks like.
I'm hoping not, because this is delicious. You guys can get all
Oh,
the
coconut. Nothing like
It is.
coconut.
Yeah.
All right, so going on to our you can answer at the end or stop us if you want. Just say I got it, raise your hand, and
Okay.
but yes, David, we are addressing them verbally. Second
Okay.
question is likelihood of person catching criminal. 8 words and 6 words.
So 2 words.
Yep.
First word is 8 letters, not 8 words.
Uh,
Second
8 letters. Sorry.
6 letters.
Coffee's not kicking in yet. Here we go.
Goodness.
Whoa.
Let's repeat the thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like-
one more time. Sorry. Likelihood of person catching criminal.
Well,
8
it's going to
letters,
be
6 letters.
a synonym for person with a synonym for criminal inside of it, maybe. Well, it's 6 and 8, you said?
Yes.
8 and
8
6.
and then 6.
Wow.
Unless likelihood is the definition.
I don't think we need the timer.
Yeah,
Give them a little time. It's cryptic crosswords.
Who right now in the audience is
So,
has
so
a,
it's going to be person catching anagram. Of
Unless
person.
it's anagram. Yeah, person catching anagram. that
So
means
it's
thing.
happened to something chance. Something is. Hold on a second. Here you go.
Pen. Where's my pen?
Person.
who else has their notepads out and is writing this down? Likelihood of
Catching.
person catching criminal.
Person
6 letters.
catching.
ANCEPRSOT.
Perchance. 6. 8, you said 8, 6?
8 6.
8 and 6.
Okay, so that is chance. So what's left over there?
Yeah, it's PRISOTG. What I missed something. Person CH.
By the way, Angela, I don't know what you're talking about. What letter? What? Sorry, I'm just answering questions.
Angela, a probable chance. Is that? No, I don't think we have those
Yeah.
letters. We're anagramming person and catching, which are
You're
14 letters.
anagramming, yes, person catching.
We get likelihood, which is something chance. Strong. No. Strong.
So close. The ending. Let's get that ending of that first word.
We still have an ing, Dave.
It's
Thank you.
TION.
We
You
still
do
have
have
an
an
ing. We still have an ing here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Angela, the words are person catching that they're focusing on right now.
With an anagram.
Yeah.
Who's the anagram? Wait, is Helen in here? She's the anagram.
Yeah, she's the anagramma.
She's like, I'm the
Helen,
queen of
where are you?
anagramma.
Anagram. She is here, joining us from
Okay.
UK side.
Sporting chance.
Yes.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, I get crossed off the end. I didn't say. Okay. Excellent. Good job.
Matt, I don't know if there's a delay, but he did come through with sporting.
Oh,
So-
Matt got it too. Very
Oh,
good.
very
Very
good.
good. You can see my terrible work here, but yeah,
That's great.
that became sporting right there.
Oh, yeah. I had somehow crossed out both ends, so it wasn't working with.
Yeah, these audible deliveries of these.
No,
they're
it's
a
That's
little bit
another
difficult.
layer
Fine.
of difficulty.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me knows that counting in escape rooms and otherwise is my weak point. If the code is how many skeletons are on the wall, I will input it incorrectly 6 times before I get.
Yeah.
All right, we're only on question 2. We're gonna get
Go
to the
for
next
number
one.
3, yes.
The next one is.
I got to run in about 5 minutes because I have to go do rehearsal for the Enigmatist in Los
Yeah.
Angeles. But
Oh, yes, we're not gonna hold
Dave
you
can
back.
stay on and solve puzzles if you
all
like.
the puzzles
All
I
the
was
puzzles he
yeah.
like.
All right.
All right, so the next one is picking up fun guy that could make your head spin. 5 letters and 9 letters.
Fun guy like a mushroom or
Oh, you're not
Well, we
even
gotta be able to
telling.
see
Okay.
all right. Can you say it one more time, please?
Yes, picking up fun guy that could make your head spin.
Picking up fun guy.
5 and 9.
5 and 9.
I can confirm mushrooms is correct for the 9.
Picking up fun guy.
Oh.
5 and what? 9?
She just gave it.
Yeah. What? I told him the second part.
Something mushrooms. Wait, what is
Picking up.
Picking up
One
fun
more
guy.
time, one more time, please.
Right.
Picking
So
up
it's
fun
fun.
guy. that can make your head spin.
Right. So it's fungi that can make your head.
Mushrooms is the 9. You say 5 and 9?
Yes.
So it's going to be like straw mushrooms or something like that.
Raw mushroom?
I don't know. We need a synonym for picking up.
Yeah.
That can make your head spin.
Excuse me.
Head spin doesn't get you.
I thought David.
Wait. Magic mushrooms, but how is magic?
Hey, magic mushrooms that'll make your head spin.
How is magic picking up? Yeah, I mean I got it from.
I think it's Ann Lit, Dave. The whole thing makes your head spin because you're.
I don't know where magic comes from in the wordplay, but that's okay.
I think it's more or less a synonym of puzzle of making your head spin.
like because you consume some magic mushrooms, so your head's spinning.
Right, we got that part. It's all
okay. Moving on.
All right. The next one: make noises in bed, in pain around midday. 5
letters.
Yeah. Okay. Got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you have the answer. What is the answer?
Snore.
Yeah.
Snore because
soar around N for noon.
Soar for N for noon.
There
Yeah,
we go.
definitely got that one.
All right, one more. Let's see if we can get this one in before David leaves.
Yeah.
How do you make the number 1 disappear? Oh, I'm going to put the timer on this one.
How do you make?
Do we enumeration? Enumeration.
It's just an answer.
Yeah, this is
How do you make-
not a cryptic thing?
No.
How do you make the number 1 disappear?
Right.
7, 8, 9.
I have it. What?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Definitely heard that solution before.
Number is N. 1 is ONE. So number 1 is none.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair, right?
Adding an N in front.
We had adding a G for gone, but N definitely works.
Well, N, the abbreviation for number in cryptics is N. So N, number N, then 1 ONE.
He always comes out with the multiple answers. Like this guy, he's like, I am full of answers for one question. I can give you many.
I think this is the first time he provided more reasoning behind our own.
I was like, yeah, yours makes more sense. Okay, well, take yours.
Okay, all good.
All right, thank you so much for playing Think and Drink with us. I
Yeah.
finished the can because of you guys.
Now he's going to be energized.
I think
all
your
day.
coffee must be cold by now, but thank you for playing that. We
Cold
really
coffee works just as well.
Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us today. As audience can know more about who's behind the mastermind of this insane puzzle hunt game. And once again, if you want to win this amazing game, type in "I'm all in for a puzzle hunt" and to win for the raffle. So if you watch this on our YouTube later, you can enter this all the way before our episode 67 airs on September 17th. So episode 70 is fast approaching.
We're getting
my
close.
God, yeah.
The big meta puzzle.
Yeah, so that's also going to be the end of our season 3.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you're collecting these hidden numbers and letters in episode 50 to 69, so you can enter to win our mega prize from our sponsor, Mobile Escape Game, for 12 episodes in one bundle, or the gift card of the same value to use towards their season 2, which is coming up. So our guest for next Friday, which is going to be back to our normal 4 p.m. schedule, is Creamy Box.
Creamy Box, September 10th.
Yes. And Creamy Box is a detective game that can be played online, or you can order their physical paper file that contains like evidence to murder cases and things like that. And these are cases that will take also hours to solve, as you literally will be following digital trails online, solving messages left by suspects, victims, and they have a huge fan base that's formed on their own Facebook with detectives that can help you solve when you're stuck, on these cases. So I'm sure we'll be using them.
Yeah, definitely. Make some friends while we're in there and see what information we can squeeze out.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll report back our findings for next Friday. But before we leave, do you guys have a cryptic forward message for them?
Yes.
Dave has one. I literally have to run out the door, so I'm not late. But Dave's got a flat for you, which I know he's excited to share. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
We are both very easy to find, so please reach out and say hello, and we'll give you puzzles. We'll give you hints.
Sounds good. We will definitely put your personal information in the links below.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
A good rehearsal, David.
All right. So,
All right, so one more time, David is actually on his way to go to rehearsal for the Enigmatist, which releases September 14th to September 30th at the Geffen Playhouse.
So if
So
you're
in the
LA,
area, yeah, go check it out.
Wonderful.
But now, dun, dun, dun. All right, so
I think October 30th, right? September 14th.
October.
October 30th. Sorry, September 14th to October 30th.
Yes.
Right now, Dave, so we're going to address this cryptic forward to Creamy Box. I'm going to give you an entire screen. Just say what you want to say and address what you would like to address. Before you do so, let me just remove everything's gone. I'm going to remove us. I'm going to give you the entire screen. Ready when you are.
Okay, great. Hey, Creamy Box, we have a cryptic forward for you. We hope you enjoy it. This is a flat. A flat is a small puzzle in verse where two words in the verse are replaced by placeholder words. You have to figure out what the original words were. It'll become more obvious when I read you the verse. This particular type is called a deletion. It is going from 6 letters to 5 letters. So you need a 6-letter word, then you need to knock out one of those letters to make a 5-letter word, and both of those need to make sense in the verse. Here it is. The judge was caught accepting bribes, and for that crime was tried. He got a chance to see the system from the other side. His sentence was hard labor, turning boulders into fleet, F-L-E-E-T. He'll be there till the end of time. They make him use his feet, F-E-E-T. Now you can see fleet and feet are a deletion. You take the L out of fleet to get feet, but those words don't make sense in the verse. What we need are 2 other words, a 6-letter word that replaces fleet, then knock a letter out to get a 5-letter word that replaces feet, and have those things make sense within the verse. They don't have to rhyme, but they do have to make sense in the context of the verse. So hopefully we can get this put up in words so you can see it. But otherwise, enjoy, find the 2 words that complete the verse, and have fun.
All right. I'm like literally scratching my head listening to him. I'm like, what?
I'm just kind of glad I'm not Creamy Box.
Is this something that we can get kind of put up? I'm happy to send you the text. It's nice.
Yeah. So what I'll do is while you're narrating, I'll have
Great.
it alongside you so they can also read
Actually,
it.
the audience
That's
we're
great.
watching this week probably has a little bit.
They have a little bit of a jump.
Yes, because then they can try to solve it, and then
Yeah, sure.
hopefully help out Creamy Box next week when you come watch the show.
And one more time, here is the secret phrase. I'm all in for a puzzle hunt. Type that in and you're automatically entered into the raffle. And then next week, like we were saying before, is Creamy Box.
Yeah, and for anyone who is in the U.S. that actually celebrates Labor Day weekend, have a great holiday weekend.
Yes.
Thanks,
barbecue.
guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Dave.
Thanks so much for having us. It's been great. We appreciate
Bye,
it.
guys.
Bye.
Happy puzzling, everyone.